Welcome back to Open Line. Tonight's topic, mental health and the holidays. We want to make it the best holiday season as possible. And tonight we have two experts joining us tonight to walk us through mental health along with this holiday season and the pandemic. I'll introduce them to you once again. We have Adrienne Hlavati and also Brianna Velazquez from the Mental Health Cooperative. Again, ladies, thank you for joining us. Want to continue that conversation about the holidays and mental health. And I wonder if it's not necessarily you who are struggling, but it's a loved one or it's a friend, and you can tell from the outside that things are not going well and this person is particularly troubled right now. What is the best way to handle that as a friend or a relative?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think first and foremost, having the conversation with your loved one, and just starting that conversation, I think, can begin to open up a lot of doors. And so I believe that that's the first and most important step is starting that discussion and checking in and being that open space to discuss what is actually going on. I've noticed X, Y, and Z, and being able to say, I want to talk to you about that because I care about you. And sometimes starting that conversation can open the doors, or it can at least plant the seed in a way of saying, okay, well, I know that this person cares and they've noticed, so maybe I can trust in that and lean into that relationship. So I think that's the first and I would say the most important step. If you're noticing somebody that you love and care about is perhaps struggling and you have a concern. Yeah.
And you know, we've done stories or shows on Open Line before about suicide, and the experts have always said, don't be afraid to say the word and ask specifically if they are considering suicide. And I even sitting here tonight and I'm comfortable saying suicide because it can be such a touchy subject.
Yeah. And I think the most important thing to think about is asking the question and starting that conversation isn't going to magically put the idea in someone's head. It's rather going to allow them the space to talk about that if they need to. And it can be hard, it can be scary to talk about that if you're not used to it. But I think it is so very important. And so I think it's valuable to, if at all possible, push through that discomfort and start that conversation.
Adrienne, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I was just thinking when Bree said that about if you are able to bring that up with your loved one, it prevents them from having to actually say it out loud. So oftentimes that encourages someone to talk about it even more because they didn't have to actually say the words until you brought it up. And so it's a lot more comfortable that way. And you're absolutely right, Carrie. It's a very difficult subject and it's very difficult to talk about, but it's really important. And it oftentimes can actually be what saves someone's life. Is you bringing it up and actually putting it out there into the open.
Yeah, it kind of relieves that pressure and that burden from them actually having to voice it first. Let's get to the lines. Antonio is on the line. Antonio, I appreciate you calling in. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking the call. I watch you every evening, every day.
Thank you.
Channel 5.
We appreciate that.
Now, I'm a U.S. soldier, veteran of the U.S. Marine. Now, over the last couple of years, I haven't been able to see mental health department. Mostly it was like clockwork in the beginning, every 6 months or so. Even if I didn't call, they would always catch me an appointment because they knew I was on the edge. Here lately, I haven't seen one in over 2 years, even before the COVID-19 hit. I'm very angry, so I got so disgusted and so depressed. I called and first said a few cross words, of course. They apologized for that, but then they finally sent me the medicine where abusing they took me off on, and they increased the doses. Yet again, they still hadn't scheduled me for no appointment, and they blame it on the troops coming back from Afghanistan, overbooking and all this stuff. This is Nashville, VA. I never had no problem with that before. And then it used to be like for holidays, like, you know, Father's Day and all these other special holidays, they would have you in mind and to the point where someone would reach out to you and call you, see how you were doing. send a voice message and all that. They ain't even doing that no more. I don't know where else to go. And if you try to go to an outside appointment, like you said,
Right.
the doctor, he got to approve it. If he don't approve it, you're out of luck. And I just don't know where else to turn. I'm trying not to show my children who are grown side effects of my depression. I laugh sometimes, like a phony laugh or a phony smile, to put them at ease, because I'm 6'4", 250 pounds, just to put them at ease, everything's all right. And I don't want them to stress over nothing like that. I try to do things on my own as a single father, you know. So I got to go somewhere. I leave my car and I'll walk maybe 2 miles. I don't call them from the job or work or whatever. Leave them alone. Because I felt like I was always working, doing things like the cat in the cradle, so to speak, you know. And now they don't have time for me. So, and if they could give me some guidelines or what else I need to do or continue on, I'd be appreciated.
Yes. Anthony, first of all, thank you for your service, and thank you for your bravery to call in tonight, too. I am going to hang up because it's easier for you to listen to your TV to hear what the ladies say, okay?
Yes, thank you so much.
All right.
Again, appreciate it.
Thanks, Antonio. You take care. And okay, ladies, I'm going to let you have the floor. Obviously, the VA is not coming through for Antonio, which is quite disheartening. Are there other resources out there where he can get help and talk to somebody?
Yeah. So I think first and foremost, like you said, Carrie, Antonio, I think it's really brave that you called in. And I appreciate you doing that because I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's struggling with the same thing. And I know that you had said that you don't lean into your support because you want to kind of keep a face for them. And I know it sounds hard and scary to actually say, okay, well, I will, but I think there's a lot of value in connecting with the people that you love and that love you. And I would encourage that first and foremost. I think that there can be a lot of value in that, although yes, definitely scary. I won't discount that. I will say that, you know, I hate that you're having a struggle with your established outpatient provider. I know that has to be frustrating. I think sometimes there's additional resources of therapists who are outpatient who are willing to see you in a sliding scale, who are willing to see you without having necessarily a need for a referral from the VA. And so I think that there's definitely therapists that you can see for an outpatient basis that could possibly be options. I think there's other community resources for an outpatient provider as well.
If he were to call into the mental health cooperative, is that something that you all could help find?
Yeah, so we can help connect him with what are, if let's say, because I'm unsure, Antonio, if he wants to use his VA benefits and what that may entail, but if he was to call into the mental health cooperative, we could certainly help connect him with some of those outpatient resources that would be fitting for exactly what he's looking for. And those details, I think he could discuss over the phone with a counselor and give those details in confidence that to know that, okay, this person is here to help because that's what we're there to do. So yeah, I would definitely encourage him to do that.
Okay, Antonio, I do want to let you know, get a paper and pen ready over the next 30 minutes or so. We're going to continue to give out that number. I'll ask Emila, our producer, to put that up as we go to break here pretty soon, so I know she'll be prepared for that. Adrienne, anything to add there for Antonio?
Yeah, just to second that there are a couple, there's a crisis talk line, there's a number that you can text as well, a crisis text line. We have suicide prevention lifelines. There's definitely some things that even if you're having such a struggle with access to your benefits with the VA, that there are other resources that are out there that you can start with a talk line. And then just like Bree said, we can help with looking at and navigating outpatient resources to get you into counseling or something that you would find beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. Antonio, again, thank you for your call. If you're sitting at home, if you have a question for our experts tonight, please give us a call, 615-737+. As we go to break, if Emila is ready, we'll put up the information for the Mental Health Cooperative.